Okay, wrestling fans. The question is The Rock African American? Or the other term might be black. Hey, look, I'm just a white guy. I don't know, But I mean, I remember reading The Rock's book. I'm sure it had a ghostwriter or something. I don't know. But The Rock told some personal stories in that book. The Rock says, just going way, way back, maybe that was like 2001. But The Rock said in that book, first of all, he was wrong, which I know is why he had a ghostwriter. He said, my father was the first African American Intercontinental Champion. Well, first of all, The Rock's father, Rocky Johnson, never had the Intercontinental title. He feuded with Don Morocco for that title in 1983, but he never quite won it. So first of all, the statement is inaccurate because unless Rocky Johnson won it on a house show and they returned it to Morocco or some such thing, but on the record books, look it up. I mean, look up these facts if you don't fucking believe me. Rocky Johnson was never the Intercontinental Champion, and The Rock's book says he was. So that's the first fallacy. But The Rock is clearly talking about his father being African American. Now, if Rocky's father is African American, The Rock, then why wouldn't The Rock, Dwayne Johnson himself, be African American or 50% Samoan and African American? So I don't see why the problem in saying that The Rock was the first ever African American WWF World Heavyweight Champion. Some people have a problem with that, and they want to push Kofi as he's going to be the first. But wait a minute, we already went through this 20 years ago. Now, why do I have a vested interest in this? I don't like the facts being manipulated, okay? I don't like facts and accuracy and historical information being twisted and manipulated to fit an agenda, okay? So if the facts are the facts, then that's what happened. So in my book, The Rock was the World Heavyweight Champion, WWE, back when there wasn't a split championship or any of that crap. I mean, WCW was still around at the time, but there was an opposing company. But The Rock was the fucking champion, world champion. I don't see what the problem in saying that is. Now the question is, you want to say, well, was The Rock black? Well, look, I mean, if his father was, why wouldn't he be? I mean, they always say that Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas were the first ever WWF black tag team champions. So what's wrong with saying The Rock was black? I don't get it. Let's put it this way. Barack Obama, first African-American president. I believe, isn't it his mother that's white? But people still say he's the first black president because his father was black. So what's the problem here? Tiger Woods with his cable Asian routine. So the point of the matter is this, folks. I'm just raising the question. But it always kind of confuses me. I mean, I'm listening to Booker T's podcast. He was talking, I believe, about winning the WCW title from Jeff Jarrett, and totally did not mention one way or the other The Rock over in WWF, which is fine. He mentioned Ron Simmons, which I was there, by the goddamn way. So any fucking way, I just thought I'd raise the question. Do you have a thought? Do you have an insight? What's your opinion? Can we safely call The Rock the first ever WWF black champion or not? Somebody make some clarification on this. I will say this. I say that he was, but at the time, I don't remember them making a big deal about it. Them being the WWE or WWF at the time. I don't recall them promoting. I mean, Rock won it as a heel at Survivor Series 98. If you look at that whole 1998 year for WWE, you started the year with fucking Shawn Michaels as champion. You went to Steve Austin at WrestleMania. You had Kane for a day at King of the Ring. Austin got it back at Raw. Then Austin kind of had it from like June, I want to say till like September or October of 98. And then he had that fucking lost it to The Undertaker and Kane on a double pin, some fucked up pay-per-view. Then they held it up. Then The Rock won in a tournament. And the year ended, believe it or not, with Foley beating The Rock. So just an interesting thing there, that WWF 1998 was really interesting year. Anyway, like I said, I'm not claiming to have the end-all, be-all fucking answer on this, but I just don't like it when history changes just because people's feelings do, or they put too much into it as far as their own agenda. But you let me know what you fucking think, Mike Messier.